One of Canva's newest features are the ready-to-made lessons, and these can be found under templates. And on the main templates page, if you scroll down a little bit and go to ready to teach lessons, you'll notice that this is a newer feature. There are several lessons. The choice of the lessons is not overly robust, but I do feel that AI is playing a factor here, and Canva is definitely going to be using that AI to develop more teacher ready lessons. So I'm thinking it's going to kind of be like a Nearpod where the lessons are going to be lesson library is going to be expanded, and you're going to be able to pick and choose what lesson you want to grab, and then you can go in and edit it, and edit all the components. The cool thing about these ready to teach lessons is that they have many different components. Like, they'll have a presentation, they'll have a worksheet, they'll have flashcards, and they have them for all grade levels. So I'm going to actually choose identifying similar polygons. If you scroll, you can actually see all of them. And when you actually go in and filter your templates by grade level, some of these will actually show up and align to your grade level. But for now, I'm just going to choose identifying similar polygons. And it will give you a lesson preview. This is a grade 8 math lesson. And it will basically break down what's in the lesson before you choose to use the lesson, and it will provide a lesson objective here. So we'll notice that there's a presentation or a slideshow for this topic. There's some sort of a graphic organizer, and there are flashcards, and these are all editable and usable by students. There's a worksheet on angles and triangles. There is a whiteboard, an interactive whiteboard where all students can interact. And then there's a worksheet to end the lesson. So if I choose use this lesson, it's going to actually save the lesson to a folder, and that folder can be found in your projects area. So if you ever leave the lesson area and you want to get back, say, the next day, you'll be able to find that lesson in your projects. It will be in a folder. So this is going to give you a more detailed description of the lesson. You can actually go into each of these components and edit them. So let's say I wanted to go into this presentation and check it out and really make it jive with what I've taught my students or what I want them to know or what's aligned to the standards. I can go through each one of these slides and make changes however I see fit based on what I want the content to be. So it'll essentially open up a new tab with the resource, and you can edit any part of the resource that you need to. I'm going to close that tab to go back to my lesson. The other neat thing is that you can actually drag and rearrange the components of the lesson. So let's say I wanted to do the graphic organizer after I did the flashcards. I can definitely do that. I can just use my my drag feature here to move things around. I can also change what the activity experience is based on the resource. So, for instance, this is a slideshow. So, this is just going to right now come up as a resource. But if there are some interactive components to it and I want students to be able to complete their own copy of it, so maybe I want them to make notes on it or interact with it in some way, I can actually click to change that. So flashcards are solo work, angles and triangles worksheet, solo work. So essentially, if you've ever used Google Classroom and you make a copy for each student, that's what is going to happen here with this solo work component of the lesson. And again, you can even go in at the end and add an activity to your lesson. You can add another presentation, whatever you've designed or a template that you've designed in Canva. You just click here and you can grab your design right from Canva. It could be a brand template, something that you've uploaded, but you can actually add your own flair to that lesson. So let's say I'm good with this lesson and all the components in it. I want to go and share that with my students. So I go up to share. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to be able to choose your class. So I'm going to choose this class, and you want to make sure it is on view. You can choose to notify any members of your group so that they know the lesson is there. So if you set up a class in Canva, you're going to share it with them as view only. and you're going to click share folder. Um, and it's going to tell you that there are people with this access. And I think iCanva is one of those. So you're going to copy the link. If you need to put it somewhere like on Google Classroom. But what you can do is if you go back to your projects to actually find this, and you go to polygons in the Pythagorean theorem, you're also going to see what is in the folders. And another kind of neat thing that Canva does is it will not only provide the lesson, but it will provide answer keys if they go with along with whatever's in the lesson. So you can always go back to it and view what your students have done, what they've submitted. And these are definitely a feature that I think is up and coming in Canva. Let's click here and you can actually see the lesson. You can see who can access it. And you'll be able to see. Oh, one thing I did not show you is, let's say you did not want to use the flashcards, you could select just certain components and leave out the flashcards if you did not want those to be added to the folder. So those are definitely an item that's going to be up and coming and developing in Canva. There'll be more and more as time goes on, especially with the increase in AI and more teachers using Canva. And I hope you can explore and use this function because I feel it's very helpful and time saving in the classroom.